Hello, Poke Peeps. We gotta be very quiet. It is very late at night or early in the morning. And today I will be reading the Creepypasta of not recommended if you get scared easily, but if you love to get scared like I do, highly recommended. This is called Lost Twin, the game. This is a game where the participants get the chance to meet the twins they never known in life. It's a simple game to play, but the decisions can be overwhelming. The twin is a reflection of who you really are, not who you prefer to be. If you're a gradually good-looking person, your twin encounter will be pleasant and gentrified. But if you're a bad person, someone who bullies, lies, steals, cheats, manipulates, or hurts other people, then your experience will be dark and painful. In order to play the game, you require the following: an empty closet, a lit candle, and a mirror. To start, hanging the mirror any size will do on the wall in the closet. Be sure to hang it on the wall across from the closet door, so the door is being reflected when closed. With the candle side lit, walk into the closet and shut the door behind you. Look at the mirror. You'll see a reflection of yourself in the closet door. Knock on the mirror twice, just as if you're trying to knock on the closet door. Blow out the candle and knock on the mirror 2 more times. You hear the closet door open, but the door behind you is still shut. Okay, so shut. Next you'll hear breathing. The game has begun. In a calm voice, greet your twin with a simple hello and wait for their response. Afterwards, ask a simple yes or no question. They will answer. The twin will respond in one of 2 ways: a kind response or a hostile response. Good people receive a kind hello in return for their greeting. Ask your question and your answer will be whispered back to you. Shortly after, a sense of warmth and comfort will overcome the player. The sound of the door shutting will signal the end of the game, as your twin has made contact, passing on their message, and left the closet. Bad people receive an angry, energetic snarl in response. If you try to ask a question, you will answer with scratches or bites from your twin. A grown twin cold will fill the closet. A sense of impending doom will bring about an unhackable feeling of dread that will linger for hours. You'll hear the sound of the closet door slamming shut, and the mirror will fall off the wall, shattering into pieces. When you leave the closet, be sure to take the mirror with you. Intact or broken, if you leave the mirror behind, you'll be plagued by your twin's voice calling out to you and knocking on the wall until you remove the mirror. This game reveals a lot about a person's soul. Players, beware. Okay. This was more like instructions and what to look for. We're just gonna use Wish I found the moon. Smile? Okay, how bad can it be? It says smile. I hate my life. I just made some new friends at this stupid school, and now I have to move again because of my father's stupid new job. We're moving to the other side of the country. Okay, so I know how this is like. I had to move a lot. Maybe too because of some job or something like that. I just wish we could stay in a town for more than a few months. But no, every job just gets better and better. So we have to move. I've been doing some research on the new town we were moving into. I just say that there are some plenty messed up headlines for this place. Most of them are about kids going insane. Some murders here and there. Nothing shocks me anymore concerning some of the places that I've been. When we arrived, I got out of the U-Haul truck and looked up at the huge mansion-looking house. Really? Is a house this big necessary for your needed office space? I say in a sarcastic tone, looking at the dead grass surrounding this house. Durin, watch your tone, my mother hissed at me. He's just going through his puberty years, my dad says, chuckling under his breath. Doesn't matter, he couldn't be disrespectful, my mother says, and I walked into the house carrying my things. I looked around the dark house, and at the peeling wallpapers on the walls there are still several pictures of the old family that lived there before they left. My parents walked into the house behind me, holding some of their stuff, and I looked at them questioningly. Do you know what happened to the family that was here back in 1950? Something, I asked. We do, but can we discuss it at dinner? We should get most of our stuff away first, my father said, and I agreed. I walked upstairs, picked a smallest squared room, and sat my box down. I looked around the empty room and put my hands in my hoodie's pockets. Along one wall there were 3 windows. 2 are squared and 1 is oval. On the opposite wall there was 2 wooden closet doors that looked like they could turn to ash at the touch. There is a small bed along the wall next to the closet door and a huge wall space. I opened the box with my posters of bands and looked up. A boy who looks to be 17 or 18 was standing in front of me. He had dark hair, blue eyes, and an ugly strained blue shirt with a black jacket. He wore ripped jeans and brown muddy boots. I didn't know someone was here, I said, cautiously standing up. The boy just looked at me. He didn't say a word, and he didn't move a muscle. He just stared at me. You gonna talk or? I said, expecting him a bet. He looked like a normal teen, except for his unnaturally thin body and pale skin. The bottom half of his face was covered by a mask. Okay. Well, I think it's time you left, I said as I bent down to pick up another box to set it on the bed. When I stand back up, I'm the only person in the room. Everything's normal except for muddy boots. Paints where the boy was standing. That's odd. I looked around the floor to see if he left anything else, but there were no other prints. I look over to the bed and see a bit of white sticking out from under the sheets. I walked over to the bed, pulled out the paper, and turned it over to see a photo of a family. There was a mother, father, 2 sons, and a daughter. Almost identically, I recognized one of the sons. It was the boy who was just in my room. I turned the photo over again, looking for a date. July 18th, 1952. I read aloud to myself, and I looked around the room once more. That's impossible. I know what happened to this family. They were killed. I wanted to tell my parents this, but of course it had to wait till dinner. I know that it was one of the children that murdered the family, but I just couldn't remember which one it was. Joseph, I think. That's all I could remember from the research about this family. I set the remaining box on the bed and unpacked. I opened the closet door carefully and see that there is still some old clothes from the family. The top half of the mask, some jackets and bottoms, down shirts, and some pairs of shoes and boots. I put my clothes on the hanger inside and put them away. I also put some stuff that has no place in my room on a shelf on top of the closet. We decided to get takeout for a nearby Japanese restaurant. As I scarfed down some teriyaki chicken and fried rice, my mother says something quite interesting. Jaden, we know you'll hate us for this, she begins as I look up at her. The family that was here before us, they were murdered. Oh, I know that already, I said, and go back to eating my chicken. What? Excuse me? But I don't remember my father starts, but remembers about my obsession with history. You did your research, didn't you? He says, looking down. Of course. Can't move into a new house without any kind of warning, without doing research. I say, eating more chicken and rice. Did you know that one of the sons were convicted that he was Tanetic? I say with a bit of a chuckle. My parents couldn't help but laugh a bit. After dinner, we got to our bedrooms and slept. After having several awful nightmares of rapid flashing images, I jumped up awake at around 2 a.m. I looked around the room, then rubbed my eyes. I looked at my feet to see a doll on the floor of my bed. The fuck? I say quietly to myself, not wanting to wake my parents up. I slowly set it up and lean over to the doll. Its deadly eyes seem to follow me. I pick it up, look at it, and throw it under my bed. When I go to sit up on the bed, the boy from earlier is right in front of me. His face is inches from mine. I yelp and jump back. After a minute, wait, are you? I asked in a whisper. My name is Joseph, I hear in a voice from behind me say. It was raspy and low in tone and was creepy and gentle. You're the, yes I am, he says without moving his mouth. I started to tremble. He should be dead. This shouldn't be happening. Oh, I'm dead, alright, and don't worry. You can join us, he says. He takes off the mask to reveal a terrifying smile. It stretches from ear to ear, and it's held shut with stitches. He opens his mouth to show his full smile and breaks the stitches in the process. Black, crinky blood starts oozing out of the cuts in his cheeks and holds up his hand. You'll just need some modifications, he said, smiling evilly. I started to back up, but hit the headboard of the bed. He stretches his fingers and his mouth open. He slowly chuckles his fist, crunches his fist, and my cheeks start to burn. I start to scream as the corners of my lips get torn in half. Surely enough, my dad bursts through the door. Who the hell are you? My father screams. He grabs his shotgun and fires. The bullet passed straight through the creature on top of me, and the back blood drops on me. The creature clutches his fist harder, and my cheeks get even more torn. My father runs up and hits this thing in the head with the butt of the gun. He falls back in gust pain. Jordan, get out of here. Go to your mom, my dad yells. I got up and ran to my parents' bedroom. I grabbed my mom's arm and hide in the closet with her. We hide beyond layers of clothes. I could see my mother in a sliver of the door to the bedroom. We are completely silent. A warm blood drips down my cheeks and on my shirt. The black blood from that thing is still on me. We hear 3 shots of the gun, then a loud thud. After a few seconds, that demon walks into the room, holding my father's arm. He's dropping my dead dad the ground and wipes the bloody hands on his jeans. I looked at my mother, who was crying into her shirt and is holding one finger to my lips. She nods and covers her mouth. Joseph, as he calls himself, smiles again. He walks over to the closet and opens the door. Me and my mother hold my breath. You humans are so idiotic. He holds his hand up, snaps his fingers, and my mother gets dragged out of the closet. He holds his hands up, and my mother, frantically livid, into the middle of the room. He makes some sort of twisting motion with his hands, and my mother's legs snap backwards. He gives out a bloody crinkling scream. And I cover my ears and cry. This is just a dream. This couldn't be real. This is impossible. My mother drops on the floor, and with one foot, Joseph steps on her throat. My mother's screaming goes silent as I watch the life escape from her eyes. 2 down, 1 to go, Joseph says in his low, demonic voice. He gives out a loud chuckle. He takes out a needle and thread and starts to sew his mouth up again. I pull out my phone and silently call 911. Hello, this is 911. What's your emergency? The director asks. Help me. There's someone in the house, I say in a whisper. I look at Joseph as he finishes stitching his mouth. Alright, we are tracking your address now, and the police should be there in 5 minutes. My phone battery depletes. Damn it, I yell to myself. I'm a goner. I think he sees me. His blue eyes are staring at me through my closet door. I can see his stitches, the lines, his psychopathic smile, and they make me sick. I can see the dark energy flowing from his hands, and as he looks at me, I didn't know how long I survive anymore. The police should be here in 5 minutes, but I know he'll have me dead before then. I hold back tears as I see my mother sprawled across the floor, her broken legs out of view. He holds up his hand and goes flying away out of sight. Mom, I scream, covering my mouth right after. He looks at the closet and walks towards me. I know you're in here, you little brat, he says as he rips the closet door open. I scream for anyone to come and help, but everyone's dead. He grabs my arm and throws me out the closet. My hand crashes against the window and cracks the thick glass. He walks over to me, his brown strained boots marks prints on the hardwood floor. He rashes his hand, crunches it into a fist, and the last thing I hear is my neck snapping and everything went black. Well, okay. Never mind. It it can be bad if it says smile. That was very creepy, and I pictured everything in my head. Well, on that note, good night to you peeps. If you like this video, catch the like button like a peep, subscribe if you haven't already, and leave a comment if you like this creepy stuff.